What is up guys, Stark here. In today's character spotlight I am taking a look at David. So this is a long time coming for him, but you know, he's a 3-star and he kind of gets lost in the shuffle with some of the other new characters that have come out and then all my gaps and stuff. But I'm going to be finally doing David, or King David. Now he is a archer class and he is a 3-star servant. So he's only going to go up to level 70, but he has 7,736 attack and he has 8,643 HP. So overall he ranks 58th overall in attack and 85th overall in HP. So obviously because he's a 3-star, his stats are going to be significantly lower, but his attack stat is still really high. I believe it is the second highest attack stat currently for 3-star or lower servants. So that's really cool. So he's going to do some pretty solid damage for a 3-star, and he's got pretty fantastic skills overall. So he's probably one of the better 3-star servants. If you do decide to go ahead and max him out though, he will end up with 12,470 attack and 13,719 HP. So moving on here to his servant skills. His first skill is going to be the Divine Protection A skill. Now this is a self buff that will increase defense for 1 turn and it will also restore HP for 1 turn. So it's a 50% defense increase across the board, and at level 1 it will restore 1,000 HP, and then at level 10 it will restore 2,000 HP. So this is a pretty good solid skill. However, it only works for David himself and it doesn't work for his entire team. If this worked for the entire team along with his other 2 skills, he'd probably be like even better than he already is, just because he has like so many different variety of things he can do for his skills. But unfortunately it is only a self buff and it only lasts 1 turn. So that kind of sucks, but it is a pretty solid, you know, boost. Moving on here to his second skill, it's going to be the Harp of Healing B. Now this is his main skill and his best skill, and what it does is it will remove all mental debuffs from all allies, and it will apply evade for 1 attack to all allies, and it will also restore HP to all allies. So this is a whole lot of things here, and they're all amazing. So you're gonna wipe out any mental debuffs, and then you get evade onto all of your allies. So this will help, you know, survivability and all that stuff. So maybe some sort of servant that doesn't have much in the way of survivability, you can throw this skill on there, and it is only 1 attack, but still, you know, not all the time servants get attacked more than once in the same turn. So that 1 attack could prove the difference between that servant living or dying, and you also heal them a little bit. Now it's only 300 at level 1 and goes up to 800 at level 10, but still that's not too bad. And then you're going to reduce the cooldown down significantly when you're leveling it up, so you can use this skill multiple times in the same fight, and that little bit of healing can go a long way with that 1 attack evasion. So it's really nice. It's a very, very good skill, and if you are planning on using David, it's a must max as soon as possible. Moving on here to his third and final skill, it is going to be a Charisma B. And now this is also a AoE buff that will increase the attack of all allies for 3 turns. So this will start at 9% at level 1 and goes up to 18% at level 10. Unfortunately, it's not that good of a buff, but it is a nice attack buff. Just imagine David as like a 5-star, like his same skill set as a 5-star. Just imagine how good that would be. I don't know if there's actually a character like that. I'm just kind of talking without thinking right now, but if there was a character like 5-star version of David, that would just be absolutely phenomenal. If there is one in the Japanese version, let me know, because I'm definitely curious. It should probably be a servant I'd probably want to go for. Moving on here to his class skills. He has 2 of them. The first one being the Independent Action A, which will increase critical strength by 10%. And then the second one is Magic Resistance A, which will increase debuff resistance by 20%. Moving on here to his Ascension and Skill Enhancement materials. For his Ascension, he's going to need Dusts, Homunculus Babies, Demon Hearts, and Crystals. And then for his skill enhancements, he's going to need the Homunculus Babies, the Dusts, and the Crystals, as well as the Hero Proofs. So moving on here to his command cards and his Noble Phantasm. He has 1 Quick, 3 Arts, and 1 Buster. So you do primarily want to use him in a Arts team. Unfortunately, his Noble Phantasm is Buster, which is unfortunate because you can't make any Buster Brave Chains with him and combo it in with his Noble Phantasm. If you could do that, then it would just do that much more damage. But on the plus side, he does have 3 arts, so you can get that Noble Phantasm generated faster and use it multiple times in the same fight. It just sucks that you can't do a Brave Buster chain. Moving on to his Noble Phantasm though, like I said, it is a Buster and it will allow him to ignore evasion for 1 turn, deal significant damage to a single enemy, and it has a high chance to inflict Skill Seal for 1 turn on the overcharge. So this does a pretty good solid amount of damage. Like I said before though, it sucks because you can't do a Brave Buster chain with him. And those are always really nice, especially with Buster Noble Phantasms, where you could just do, you know, really good damage and then get the extra attack in. So that kind of sucks, but you know, you can still use it on a Brave or a Buster chain and do, you know, the increased damage there. So that's nice. But yeah, you know, overall, pretty solid Noble Phantasm. You could do some solid damage with him. And he's got a really good skill set too for like support, so you kind of have like an offensive support character, which is always really useful. So moving on here to some of the craft essences that you could use on this character. First up is his level 10 Bond Craft Essence, which will unlock the Ark of the Covenant. Now while equipped, it will increase Noble Phantasm strength by 30% and has a 10% chance to inflict death during each normal attack. So this is a pretty good craft essence to use on this character once you unlock it, but until then you can go ahead and use some of the other craft essences to like boost his attacks. So you can use Projection for the 15% increase, or Formal Craft for the 25% increase, or you could go ahead and just decide to use craft essences to increase his Noble Phantasm damage. So you could use Heaven's Feel for the 40% increase to strength, or Black Grail for the 60% increase. Now Black Grail is a little bit trickier to use because he doesn't have that much HP, being a 3-star servant, so losing 300 or 500 every turn isn't, you know, ideal. But you do have a little bit of a heal. He has 2 skills that can heal him, so you can kind of offset that. And, you know, having the offensive capabilities of Black Grail is always really nice, and he's going to just do that much more damage with his Noble Phantasm. So moving on here to the character and review portion of the video. So for his stats, I'm going to give him a 3.5 overall. So he does have really good attack stats for being a 3-star servant, but he has some of the lower stats for HP. So overall, I'm going to give him a 3.5 there. As for his skills, I'm going to give him a 4.5 stars out of 5. He's got a very good skill set, you know, having a whole bunch of support skills, and his Noble Phantasm can do quite a bit of damage as well. So overall, he's going to be a huge asset to your team, and he's going to help your team survive longer and boost their attack, and he does pretty much a lot of stuff that you could definitely make use of in battle. So moving on here to versatility, I'm going to give him 4 stars. Now again, remember that this is only compared to other 3 stars. This isn't compared overall to like 4 stars and 5 stars. But as a 3-star, he has very good versatility in the fact that he has the very good set of support skills. So even if you're not using him for his offensive capabilities, you can still throw him onto teams and use him for other things as well for the support. So you have the heal, you have the evasion, you have the ability to remove debuffs, increase attack, all sorts of different things in there that you can make use of. So again, he can find his way onto a lot of teams. Obviously, if you have other characters that are like higher level than him, like 4 stars or 5 stars, you're not going to be using him, but I'm kind of trying not to take that into account. As for his aesthetics, I'm going to give him a 3-star overall. He doesn't do much for me, but I don't hate the character, I don't hate the images or anything like that, so he's kind of just there. So 3 stars overall, pretty solid, pretty average. So overall, I'm going to give David a 4 stars out of 5. He's a very solid servant, especially for a 3-star, and he can still find his way onto teams even if you do have other characters like 4 or 5 stars. He does still find that sort of supporting role if you do need it in certain situations, and he can definitely see some play. So that's going to wrap up this character spotlight. Again, I do need a whole bunch of characters. I'll flash the image on the screen for you guys to see. I still need all of them. You know, once I get them, I'll black them out, or maybe I'll just take them off the picture. But as it stands, I still need all of them. I still have a few more characters I can do before I really need, you know, to get something done here. But I should be okay for now. So I'm going to leave you guys here with David's Noble Phantasm, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
君には改心する権利がある。では仕方ない。試しよアバニム。